Hola mis amigos, yo soy Super Pedro and we're back with another episode of Major Minor Mobile Edition. Now where last left off, we entered the tavern, met all the tavern people, the assassins discussed what's going on with me to the tavern employees, and now we're going to the cellar to meet Righty and see what he has for us. Let's see how it goes. The stairs creak heavily as I enter the cellar. In a way that would destroy any attempt at stealth. There's no doubt about it. He knew I was here. But at least he'd be able to tell that I came alone. But then where was he? I finally reached the bottom. The cold floor sends shivers quick up my spine. The only heat in this place is the flicker of candles. Sheesh. I take a step forward, looking at all the wine. There's so many bottles. So many varieties. Did PB and Fidget brew all this on their own? They had a lot of time on their hands then. I scanned this place to the best of my ability, but for the life of me, I can't find Righty. And then he's right behind you. Probably. Hey! I jumped through the air in fright. How in the world did you get behind me? I knew it. Well, a big guy like him, I actually... How did he do that?
Oh, did I frighten you? My apologies, Taylor. Did you make sure to close the door?
I hope. I nod. He seems pretty paranoid about all this. Either that, or he's about to tell me something big. I'm actually not sure what would be worse right now. So instead, I stared at him with an inquisitive silence. Big words.
Listen, I'll make this quick. Wasting time isn't in my nature. I've been following you.
That's not creepy at all. Perfectly normal, everyday behavior for the people of Terra, right? If that is, still, that's not creepy at all. He's been following me? That's really creepy. No, it's not. It's perfectly normal behavior in Terra, right? Right?
Ever since you arrived in Terra, I've watched you drop into that forest. I've watched you make your way to Rayleigh. However you pronounce that. Rayleigh. That must be the name of this town. I know who you are, and your mission here, so you don't have anything to hide from me.
Why would he be following me like that? And how did he know about the ritual? I can't help but shake this feeling. The feeling like everyone has been lying to me. Oh, I'm so creeped out.
I don't think you fully understand things. But then again, neither do the assassins. They were simply being used by the king.
Oh, so you know information on the king. And why I was betrayed by furry Jesus thing and the king. What's going on? Am I gonna die? Please, I don't want to die. I got so many people to smash in the other world. I mean, I don't want to die. Huh?
Give me a chance to explain myself first. I assure you that I am not against you. I value your life and your safety. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have.
Oh, no doubt about it. You got a giant-ass axe and giant-ass muscles. I'm pretty sure you could spare the axe and use your muscles.
After all, I'm blocking the only exit.
Point. Okay. That's a pretty terrifying way to reassure me. But he spoke the truth, as harsh as it was.
So please, hear me out. I beg you. You're about to make a terrible mistake.
Can you be a little more pacific? And not come with all these riddles? I shrugged and decided to listen. I wasn't in a position to make an educated decision. I moved to the wall and pressed my back against it, ready to get comfortable for what I'm about to hear.
Now where should I begin?
He takes a few moments before speaking, as if he's lost in thought.
Let's start with the issue of Vasquez. I have some very condemning evidence. He's lying. Playing at this sinister scheme, he's toyed you as the savior to everyone. Thanks to your friends, this is spreading. But I know this was also part of his plan. The more people that talk about you, the easier it is to hide his true intent. He lets his citizens spread the rumors.
I have to be wary of what he says. I was told he could resort to deceit. If he's against them, he's against the king as well. So it makes sense that he'd want me to change sides.
Now I don't know exactly what he's hiding, but he's extremely good at hiding it. But I just know that it's there. Indy and Conrad are too far gone to see. Now I'm glad I didn't become an assassin. I was close, but backed out near the end. Vasquez had a ruthless litmus test. In order to join, I had to do something unthinkable. I can't tell you what it is, though. I swore an oath of secrecy back then, and no matter what, I am still honorable.
Aren't you such a nice person? Tell me, they're not here, just tell me. Tell me, tell me.
I had a man uncover in the castle. His job was to extract anything he could. I'm led to believe he found something big. I know that you might not believe me, or at least my word alone. That is why I've evidence.
Oh, you came prepared. Alright, I see.
Vasquez caught my undercover agent. He directed his efforts into capturing him. His name was Kaylin, my top mercenary.
Kaylin, that sounds familiar. Sounds extremely familiar. Hey, I recognize that name. That's who Indy and Conrad are expecting mail from.
Kaylin was undercover as a royal servant. Vasquez needed him silenced immediately, so he gave Kaylin a condemning order. He asked Kaylin to help ruin Plier. They planned fake evidence in his estate. Together, they'd ruin his campaign. If he denied, his cover would be blown, and his reputation as a mercenary ruined. You're useless if you can't hold your cover. Vasquez had him in a checkmate. He had no choice but to accept the mission. So he went on the dispute player Reale. Isn't it extremely convenient? Kaylin now rests in a prison, silenced. The one man who could help expose Vasquez.
Well, isn't that convenient? The only man that can help us through this is in prison. Righty? You want to come with me to drop the soap? I'm weird. It seems a little too precise to be coincidence. Interesting.
And Indy and Conrad helped the king. They think they are exposing Lord Plier. But this was a ploy to get Kaylin in jail. Your friend will find his mailbox empty. Vasquez has already attained his goal. The empty mailbox will be proof enough. Plier has top-notch security on his estate. Kaylin will not be able to follow through. He will simply starve and die in prison. I know that Vasquez hates Lord Plier, but this plan has nothing to do with that. If anything, he wants Plier to help out. Plier will keep Kaylin under constant watch, and after a week, he'll starve to death, taking all the evidence with him.
Shit! Alright, righty, let's go drop the soap. Come on, me and you, together. Forever as best friends. We got this, buddy. We got this. Please stop me. That makes sense. Things are starting to come together. Everyone in Terra seems to be connected somehow. This political puzzle is finally starting to take shape.
Indy and Conrad are too far gone. They would never question their king, no matter how odd the order seemed. Kaylin was very skilled at stealth. There was no reason to capture him. He could have planted evidence in the night. And why not ask Indy and Conrad? They have Plier's unconditional trust. They could easily planted evidence. It makes absolutely no sense. But they serve without question. I fear they are leading you to your demise. And if you doubt what I'm saying, well, they did the same thing to Kaylin. He will die unless he gets broken out. Even when they find their mailbox empty, I don't think they will realize the truth. They will still take your right to the king. Even if that means leaving Kaylin to die. You see, they are blinded by money, something they often accuse me of. But me, I value your life. I want to keep you safe from the king, and safe from those two heartless killers.
Aw, thank you. That's so nice. Please just put the axe down and tone down a bit, and then I'll believe you a little more.
Please, Help my cause instead. Together we can rescue Kaylin, and in the process we can expose Vasquez. I'm sure that you hold common sense. We can't just let Kaylin die in a cell, nor can we let Vasquez win like that. ... Upstairs, I was just putting on an act. I wanted to seem like a sales pitch. Please maintain that facade for me, okay? If they ask you what happened, tell them you refused my offer to help. Do not reveal anything I have said to you.
Understood. I do not want to die by your muscles. Understood. He lets out a sigh.
I wish I could have gone to you first. It would have spared so much trouble. No doubt you are extremely confused. If I found you first, you'd be fine. It makes more sense with a clear head, an open mind, like the other one had.
It is all very confusing. I'm not sure what to do. Lots of information is conflicting right now. But Righty hasn't hurt me yet, so there's that. Wait a minute. Did you just say the other one?
Because of Kaylin, I knew about the rituals. Today, I was able to intercept it. I was hoping to grab you, but I couldn't. For some reason, the ritual brought two. So instead of you, I got someone else. Perhaps they can convince you as a friend.
Is it who I think it is? He turned his head to the darkness of the cellar.
You can come out now.
A shadow emerges from the darkness. And at that moment, I was utterly shocked. I saw the last person I expect to see in Terra. Oh my god, my boy! Oh my god, Keela! Oh shit! Oh my god, it's Keela. You know what? Righty, you got me convinced. You got me convinced. Oh hell yeah. Meanwhile, back on Earth. A shady black alley, late into the night. Oh. Now we get into the juicy stuff. So, how you holding up? Oh, another person? Oh jeez.
I'm tired. You shouldn't have woken me up.
That's gonna hurt my throat. Shock, you need to know. Don't give me any of that nonsense. You and Clace went way back.
So?
I just wanted to talk to you about this. I know it must be affecting you somehow. You were childhood friends, you know?
You should go back to your contest winners. Seems to me that they were more obsessed. Why don't you go interrupt their sleep?
You live in an alley? I am so sorry. Don't be stupid. Listen, you know I care about you. If I were in your shoes, I need a friend. I'm just doing what's appropriate, Shock. This affects you more than it does them.
Who are you to say what affects me or not? Stuff your nose back in that tablet, Rook. It doesn't belong in my personal business. ...
Sorry for Karen.
I know why you really called this meeting. You don't care about how I feel at all. You care about whether or not I'm staying. Now cut to the chase. None of this is about my friend. It's all about how our careers will change.
Shock, I really do care. I know what it's like to lose someone. I've been in this exact situation before.
Is that so? That's not what I've heard. I heard that you like to abandon others. It's the reverse, Rook. People lose you.
That is really hurting my throat, but I gotta keep going.
Now I told you to cut to the chase. What's the real reason you called me here?
Fine. I guess I'll pretend not to care.
There's something you're good at.
Singe decided to restructure the tour. Opening night will be a memorial service. You know, like a visual in Clace's honor.
Really? Singe has sentiment?
Well, I guess you could say that, but he did it to minimize refunds. The fans will still want to attend.
That makes more sense. Here I thought he might have grown a heart.
Dot dot dot. You wanted me to ask you something? If perhaps you'd make a little speech. You know, I was a childhood friend of Clay's. The fans might want to hear your voice. It could give the vigil more impact.
I'll think about it.
Really? He was one of your best friends. This is his memorial service, you know? You really hate to think about this.
Indeed I do. You got a problem with that?
No. Also, there'll be a big announcement. Daz will take Clay's place in the tour. We would appreciate it if you stayed. Rooker's gonna stay too. He's pledged his services to Daz. What do you think about it, Shock?
I think that I'll have to think about it.
That's a lot of thinking. Don't hurt yourself. Very well.
Can I go now?
Please. I suppose. But first, about the contest winners. They're not as precious as to me. The contest was Clay's idea, Shaw. I did it for him. Now he's gone. They'll wake up to some horrible news, assuming they haven't heard it already. In fact, we might even send them home. Finch needed to decide what we'll do. I'll have you know that they don't impact me.
Got it.
And about what you might be feeling, just please do me one favor, Shaw. Don't make the same mistake I did.
With all due respect, Rook, only you could screw up that bad.
Rook, you don't care about us at all? You're a dick. Now I see why Eclair doesn't love you anymore. Eclair, it's okay. You can come to me. Screw Rook. Now I see why he's a dick. Fuck you. Just fuck you. As Shock said, put your nose back in that tablet. Fuck you. Shock storms off, pushing Rook out of his way. Why? And people think I'm a jerk.
Oh, hello.
Well then, what's gotten into him?
Oh, there you are, Daz. I think he skipped a few steps. We're right into the anger stage of grief.
That's a fact. I could see it on his face. I guess we'll all handle things differently.
Yeah, some more harmful than others. Thanks for coming to see me at last.
No problem. Is there anything I can do? If I can help in any way, please tell me.
Well, I know that you were with Singe. Perhaps you have some information for me. Aside from your promotion, I mean. Singe told me about that directly, but I don't know much else. Other than that changes to the opening night.
Well, I talked with Rooker for a bit. He seemed more interested in mythology, so I tried to get out of there as quickly.
Sounds like him. He's a Myro, though. He's still able to study while aboard. If only he didn't show it off all the time.
Yeah, it can be a little troublesome. I could give you a big lecture, though, especially on the creation of Japan.
We already heard it, please don't. You're implying that I couldn't do the same. Remember, I work with him every day.
Well, anyway, about the murderers. I think there's been a breakthrough there.
Really? You think I know about that? My mailbox is usually flooded all night.
The police are even keeping it a secret. But we found a culprit, at least for half of the cases. This person confessed to being a copycat. They were responsible for the gun murderers.
Oh, interesting.
They have a solid alibi for all other cases, so now we're left with a bunch of suicides. So the real mystery still isn't solved. People are taking their own lives, even if they're completely healthy, and with no evidence left behind either. It seems as if the bodies are moved. It's the only way this makes sense.
So there's another killer out there then?
It seems to be that way, but the police don't care. They're closing the case in the morning. They'll just be labeled as suicides, even though that's physically impossible.
Indeed. Anyone could realize that. The crime scenes don't match the crime. A bit premature to close the case like that.
Of course, but there's nothing we can do. If it's closed, we'll never know the truth. This leaves it in the hands of others.
So you want to play detective now?
I want to know who did this to us. Don't you? I want to know who killed him.
I'd rather not know. Don't you, Reed? Finding the culprit makes you a target. Just someone else they need to silence. I advise you to drop it, Daz. We don't need to lose another idol. We need to work on moving forward together. Dot dot dot.
You have a point. But Singe didn't back down so easily.
He never does. What did he do now?
He already has a suspect in mind. Clay's bodyguard.
Really? That's Rook, right? Right? Right?
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. The murder started when we arrived, and the scene seemed expertly tampered with. It makes sense, given his background. He worked with the police before Singe. He'd be able to pull strings like that.
Seems too simple to me.
I thought so at first, but Singe called him in for questioning, and that's where it gets even more suspicious.
Oh.
It seems that he fled Tokyo.
Oh. Ho ho ho. Ho 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 ho. Interesting. Singe's office earlier that night. Is it the... Oh, it's you again.
What do you mean he's gone?
It's just like it sounds. We can't find him anywhere. He might as well have vanished.
How convenient.
We found a letter in his room, though. It simply reads, "I'm sorry."
An admission of guilt, perhaps.
It doesn't seem that way. If he did this, he wouldn't be sorry. In fact, he wouldn't leave anything behind. It seems to be more of a genuine apology. Perhaps he's ashamed that he failed us. It was his duty to protect Clace, after all. I think the letters of his resignation. He couldn't face us again after this.
Or maybe it was to throw us off the trail. Now let us go live in silence. We need to hunt for him immediately.
That's a pretty far-fetched theory. I don't mean any offense, Singe.
Far-fetched coming from you. I thought you realized in far-fetched.
The Pokemon?
Things being both alive and dead at once. You write about quantum mechanics all day, and you say my theory is far-fetched. At least I've based mine on reality.
Oh, now we're getting into a fight. Cat fight. Let's go.
I'm sorry, Jade. That was rude of me. It's just been a really long night, and I don't think it'll end anytime soon.
I'll accept your apology. You're under extreme duress after all.
Thank you. So what do we do now?
I think we'll just move on with our lives. There's not much else we can do. We'll just pay attention to media reports. We're not detectives. We're not police. We can't be expected to solve things, Singe. We have to drop it and leave it to them.
If only it were that simple.
I do agree, but we can't just sit around. The tour isn't going to run itself. We have lots to do, and in so little time. First and foremost, a new bodyguard. We'll need to hire some protection, not just for Daz, but for everyone. I have a few candidates gathered here. I went on a little hunt for CVS, and I've already run the background checks.
Thank you, Jade. You're helping me stay sane. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Don't mention it. I'm just doing what you pay me for. I recommended the candidate named Acheron. His past experiences is very impressive. That, and he has a perfect track record.
Very well. I'd like to see him. Can you call him here immediately? I'm sure he'll understand our predicament.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the back room.
Of course, Singe. But one more thing. What should we do with the contest winners? The sun will rise soon, and I have no idea.
Smash? Smash. Smash, right? Yeah.
I had completely forgotten. It's always something, isn't it? Bring them to me when they wake up, okay? I'll decide what to do when I meet them. This has turned into one huge headache.
He takes a deep breath and places his face on his hands.
It might be better to just send them home.
But smash! Smash. Oh, we're back here. But come on, smash though. Hello! I'm back. I just was seeing other realities, and for a second, just don't worry about me. I stare in shock for what seems like an eternity. My mind is bombarded with impossible questions. A canopy of thoughts and voices assaulted my mind. How on earth did Kayla end up here in Terra just like that?
Hey, are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I don't really believe in ghosts all that much, but I assume he'd feel the same at seeing one for real. This is the last possible thing I expect to happen.
Snap out of it, okay? There's lots to talk about here.
That much was true. I snapped back into reality. Perhaps a thorough explanation of this can help me, because right now I'm still wondering why Kayla is here. I decided that is a good question to start with. Why the hell is Kayla here?
Well, I remember one last thing. We were in the hotel watching some TV, and then reported that Clace was killed.
Yes, I remember that as well. Righty's ears perk up at the mention of the name Clace. At least, that's what it seemed like to me. It's possible that he was confused with the word TV.
Then, that's all I remember from Tokyo. As quick as I saw that, I was here. I thought I was hallucinating or something. I panicked and eventually collapsed. I had a face full of soil, embarrassingly. I was on the ground for a really long time. That is, until this guy found me.
He motions his head toward Righty.
Yeah, that's how it happens. I didn't think the ritual would bring two. So as soon as I could, I snatched Kayla up. I was too late by the time you came. Indy and Conrad already got you. Our only option was to watch and sneak. I had to find a chance to get you alone. That's why I invited you down here to talk. Kayla has told me a lot about you as well.
Can I continue now?
Yes, of course.
Righty told me his side of the story. Let me just say, it makes way more sense. I think you're following the wrong guys. Indy and Conrad are too gullible. They believe anything the king says. They don't even realize that they're slaves.
You have a point. A point I've already saw, but you have a point.
I'm not sure how to make this any clearer. The king does want Lord Pierre to lose, but this Kaylin matter is totally separate. There's blatant holes in their orders, but they're too loyal to the king to see. They followed without a single objection, but Righty here thinks before he acts. He's not a thrall to Vasquez. I think he's the good guy here, Taylor.
If you're here, hell yeah, I believe him.
What do you think? You have my back, don't you?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We went to a maid cafe together. Hell yeah, I'm with you. I honestly don't know what to think. I'm so confused. Some of this makes sense, but some of it is outrageous. I start to piece it all together in my head. Kayla didn't mention the Ark. It must be specific to me. Or something that the king made up. It makes sense that he got here before me then. The man in the Ark didn't intercept Kayla's trip, but I still have no idea why Kayla was brought here. Is it just because he was beside me when I was taken? Yeah, that could be. If not, that's a really, really weird coincidence.
I explained everything to Kayla. He had a revelation about the ritual. He said that your world suffers from it.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot about that. This whole world and the ritual. It ties into the Midnight Deaths. Your two friends, Indy and Conrad, the ritual they're performing is the sole cause of the Midnight Deaths.
Are you correct? You better be correct, because I called that shit. I fucking called that shit. Interesting line of thought. I asked him to elaborate. I want to see if his thoughts line up with my own.
Well, their ritual was once a day, and it had to be at the same time, too. The same rules as the Midnight Deaths. There was a time difference, though. Midnight on Earth could be daytime here. Regardless, the ritual steals an Earthling, and when the Earthling comes here, they die. At least, they do on Earth.
We're not dead.
For some reason, they live on in Terra. There's no other explanation.
Wait, are we dead in the other world? I swear if we are, that's so dumb. Because I want to go back into my other body and smash. I'm sorry. Sorry. It makes sense. But there are a few glaring holes. We were brought here after midnight. We were still able to hear news about Clay's death. I challenge his theory with that fact. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Hey, you're right. In that case, I don't know.
Furthermore, his theory assumes some odd things. First of all, Laplace is alive and well on Terra. And second, that we are both dead on Earth. Yeah. I decided not to tell him about the Ark. I put alongside his process of thought. If his theory were true, there would be 3 rituals. One for Clace, one for him, and one for me. I direct that challenge to Righty.
It was only ever performed once a day. Those were Vasquez's strict orders. I don't think they would disobey him.
It can't be a coincidence, though. They're way too similar to ignore. You and I standing here is proof of that. A small timing issue can't prove me wrong. Everything still kind of lines up.
That's not true at all. Clace isn't with us, and Righty says that the ritual was only ever performed once. It pokes holes all over Keela's theory, but there has to be a reasonable explanation.
Perhaps the ritual brought all of you, but you just traveled at different speeds. This would compensate for the difference.
No, it can't be that. We were still on Earth past midnight. Let me think about this for a moment.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
I got it. You know the news reports. It was on TV an hour after Clay's death. What if the time on Terra just moves faster? If 1 hour there is 1 day here, well, it explains everything perfectly.
Then people would die every single hour then.
The ritual of another day brought us here. It also explains why we never saw Clace. We came here a day later than he did. He could be anywhere by now, you know?
That's possible. It's not an overly huge difference. Besides, Indy and Conrad didn't talk about the time flows. I still dislike the implication that we're both dead. But some of this is just wishful thinking. We don't know the specifics about either world, namely, the amount of rituals and midnight deaths. If we did, we'd be taking steps in the right direction. But again, there were too many coincidences at play. I'd have to stop considering the deaths a mystery now. We need specifics, but it clearly involved Terra, and the King's ritual is the most probable cause.
Keela believes the ritual is responsible. Indy and Conrad are the murderers. There is logic behind his theory as well. Either way, we can't learn the truth. Not while chilling down in a wine cellar. I'm sure you can agree with me on that one.
Righty cracks his knuckles loudly. Then he stares down at me, menacingly. Please, don't kill me.
One very important question remains. One that you can answer here and now. Who do you believe? Will you go back upstairs? Will you try with Indy and Conrad, even though the king lies to all of you? Or will you come with us? We can rescue Kaylin as a team, and his testimony will expose Vasquez. I can't guarantee your safety if you leave. I won't be able to watch over you anymore. But if you side with us, I'll keep you safe. We'll help Kaylin reveal the king's motives. That may be how you really save Terra. We're under the hand of a tyrannical ruler.
You're gonna come with us, right? I mean, we're friends and stuff.
This is a hard decision to make. If I sided against Indy and Conrad, they'd hate me, probably kill me, and then rape me. What? I'd probably make enemies out of Vasquez's assassins. But on the other hand, Kalen might not have proof. The king may not even be as bad as Righty claims. There's also the risk of the rescue mission failing. That, and I'd have assassins out to get me. Siding with Righty and Keela seems very risky. I might not be able to complete my mission as savior. However, if I side with Indy and Conrad, then Keela and Righty might become my enemies. But Indy and Conrad will bring me right to the king. I'll be able to hear the plan from the man himself. This would be the easiest route for me to take, especially if I want to help the man in the Ark. But what if Vasquez did want to use me for evil? There's a chance that meeting him could condemn me. Once we're face to face, he could do anything. What if Indy and Conrad have a secret agenda? They're assassins after all, not peacekeepers. This is a tough choice indeed. I wish it were as easy as the choices back in Tokyo. Things are getting far less black and white on Terra. I stand in silence, thinking of what to say next. Choices. Choices. If we go with Indy and Conrad, we have the risk of Righty becoming our enemy, Keela hating us. He took us to a maid cafe. The man took us to a maid cafe. I mean, that's gotta be brownie points. I mean, cookie points. I hate brownies. And also, I don't want Righty to kill me. He looks strong. On the other hand, if we go with Righty and Keela, both Indy and Conrad are assassins. Conrad looks eh, but Indy looks strong. He could probably kill me. But they're both assassins. They can still kill me. But I don't know if I could side with Indy and Conrad more than I could side with Righty and Keela, because the evidence I found so far is that Indy and Conrad haven't been told much about me, other than that they need to send me to the king. And also, Rilu, I believe his name was, he was able to talk to the king and speak with the king. And they have secrets. Secrets that they will not tell me about. But then again, it's also risky to side with Righty and Keela, because we don't know if Kaylin actually has this information, or this could backfire. And also, there's two assassins that could probably try to kill me. But we'll see what my choice will be in the next episode. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope my explanations made sense. And I'll catch you on the next one. Hasta la vista, baby.